Flint, Michigan um is one of the most beloved, one of the most favorited political toys that politicians have been dying to play with ever since it came to be. If you don't remember, because I actually forgot that they existed, that people have cared that little, Flint, Michigan is a majority black town in Michigan, or county. I'm not sure. It's a community in Michigan that has had contaminated drinking water for years. Obama, it started under the Obama administration. Obama said a lot about it. Obama went there a couple of times, I believe, said how they were going to fix it. It's been a big thing in like Michigan politics for a while. A lot of politicians have been playing with it, but no one has really done anything. Lots of the people in Michigan have suffered with contaminated drinking water in the richest country on the planet since for a long time, for a very long time. And like, this isn't just like, oh, their water smells like poop or whatever. I'm pretty sure they could even light their water on fire. Like, you pull the water from the tap and you could light it on fire. That, and also that there's been a massive spike in child developmental problems, a lot of autism, a lot of other mental deficiencies coming out. I think like something like 20% or like a 30% rise in children children that have been having to be put through special education programs because the water is still contaminated there. And just being around can lead to a lot of developmental problems for the children born there and the people who are living there. It's horrible, and it's just been left to fester for years. And you can only assume for many reasons, but one of them for them to be majority black. But recently, Flint, Michigan got a little bit of reprisal, got a little bit of anything that would be considered a good thing. Earlier this week, Michigan officials announced a $600 million settlement for the Flint water crisis. So, what is it? Let's hop into it. The state of Michigan announced Thursday that it has agreed to pay $600 million to Flint residents whose health has been afflicted by lead-tainted drinking water in a crisis that spurred a class action lawsuit and become emblematic of how poor majority black communities can suffer under government mismanagement. So Trump said a lot about Flint, Michigan too. Do you know what Trump has done about Flint, Michigan? Fuck all. Literally nothing. He did literally nothing. Obama didn't do much either, but you can't say much. Gretchen Whitmer came into power 18 months ago, and she's been working with lawyers from thousands of Flint residents who filed class action lawsuits in the wake of the scandal that began in April 2014. The Flint water crisis has been going on since 2014. 6 years in the richest country in the world. The people living in Flint, Michigan have been left to like languish. And they've gotten $600 million. How many people live in Flint? Flint, Michigan population. 95 million. My bad. Not 95 million. Holy shit. 95,000. Wait, can we do like a tiny bit of math? So what was it, like 600 million divided by what? Let's do like 95,000 equals $6,300 per person. So I don't know about you, but your child having permanent brain damage from like the lead pipes in the buildings that you're in, I don't think that's really much. They did say it was just going to the people who have been affected. I would assume that's the majority of the people there who have been affected since they've been living there for 6 years. But many things happen. She added that healing Flint will take a long time, but our ongoing efforts in today's settlement announcement are important steps to helping us all move forward. Under the deal, the state established the $600 million fund and Flint residents can file claims for compensation. The amount awarded per applicant would be based on how badly they were harmed. So people aren't getting a flat fee. You have to do a court. You have to do put in like a court order to say that you were affected, and then you may be allotted some money from the $600 million that are there. It calls for devoting 80% of the money to people who were younger than 18 during the period where Flint was using river water. Wow, that's incredible. How horribly this was mismanaged. But one thing that I'd like to say is, for one, this doesn't go far enough. The state that the Flint community is in, the people who have had to leave, the people who couldn't leave because of their economic situation, cannot be done away with money. Lots of these people have permanent damage to themselves, to their family, to their lives that may carry on for generations because of the I'm going to say it, environmental racism that's been inflicted on this community. This reminds me of when I did a segment. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It was about how these environmentalists live in a place called Cancer Alley in Louisiana that is a majority black community that has I think 800 times the rate of cancer related deaths there, because chemical companies have just been dumping just like their garbage into their drinking water since I think the 50s, just forever. It's been called Cancer Alley for like ever. It's insane how bad it is. Let's take the Ben Shapiro route. Just sell your house. Just sell your house. Just sell your house. And the crazy thing is, a lot of the people there, for one reason why they couldn't move is because they couldn't sell their house. You can't sell your house when the land that it's on is contaminated with lead. You can't sell that house. No one's going to buy that house. And I think legally you just can't do it either. Yeah, sell your house to Atlantis. Sell your house in Flint to lead people who love lead water. Sell it to fucking like Magneto or something. What do you mean sell it? What are you talking about? It's crazy to me. But one thing, Gretchen Whitmer came into power about 18 months ago. How much is lead worth? I don't know. Maybe apparently 95,000 lives for 6 years. Apparently that's how much lead is worth. I don't know. But Gretchen Whitmer came into power 18 months ago. And during that time, she was able to at least get this. The previous governor of Michigan did nothing. And the previous governor of Michigan was a Republican. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care about Flint, Michigan at all. He did literally nothing. So to the people who say that Republicans and Democrats are practically the same, no, there is stark differences between the left and the right. But the two liberal parties, I'm talking capital L parties, aren't still have the same fundamental problems, obviously. But there are stark differences between these two people. Under the previous governor, Flint, Michigan happened. And Flint, Michigan continued for 4 years until he was voted out of office. And then it continued for another year and a half until it was solved. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know who you guys are, but doing something is better than causing the problem and doing nothing. In this certain case. And my heart goes out to the people whose lives have been affected in the Flint, Michigan crisis, whose lives have been used as political props by politicians who don't care about the suffering that these people went through, the financial the mismanagement that went through that these people had to go through, and now having to deal with that on top of coronavirus. Can you even imagine the suffering that lots of people in Flint, Michigan are going through because now they had pre-existing conditions that happened through their drinking water, and then on top of that they suffer even more because black communities have been hit even harder than other punching my mic, I'm like David Packman, than other communities that have been hit by the coronavirus. Like, this is the quadruple whammy. It's just been suffering after suffering after suffering in the richest country in the world. When people say America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. They mean it. Like I remember when I read that international poverty experts went to like places in Mississippi and saw that they had worse poverty in places in fucking like South Sudan. You know, that like that war-torn African country where that has like a higher murder rate than I think the U.S. and Mexico combined. You know, just that people were like sitting in puddles of their own shit, like drinking E. coli. It was that bad. I don't even know what to say. This is something. I hope that the people who've suffered in Flint, Michigan can tap into this and use that to move or fix their situation in some way. There has to be far more done, but this is a step in a direction, and I think it's generally a good one.